you've ever felt that you've been unappreciated and undervalued, and you know you deserve more, then this might be the episode for you. Let's sit down, settle in, and let's get going. Hey, Bo Schwade here, the man with the whip, Wild West performer, and your host for Powerful Action Principles for Success, the podcast where we don't fool around. No fluff, no filler, we just get right into the subject. And today's subject is know your worth. That is huge. I think that most of us go around in environments where we're underappreciated, undervalued, and we just put up with it. We think that's the best that we could do. And it really isn't, because everybody is valued somewhere. It reminds me of a story, and I hope I tell it right. I'm not a good storyteller, but it reminds me of a story of a young lady. She just had graduated from high school, and her dad wanted to give her a graduation gift. And what he did is he gave her a car, an old car that's been sitting out in the barn. And he gave it to her, and she, of course, it was pretty worn out. It still ran. She could drive it, but it was worn out. Paint was worn off of it. And she thought maybe it was worth something to put towards something else. And her dad said, well, hey, take it on down to the dealership. So she took it down to the dealership, and they offered her $1,000. She came back home and said, Dad, they offered me $1,000. He said, well, why don't you take it on down to the pawn shop and see what they'll give you? So she went on down to the pawn shop. She came back, said, Dad, they said they'd only give me $100 in the condition that it's in. And he said, well, why don't you try one more time? Take it on down to a car show and see what maybe somebody will offer you for it. Well, she went down to the car show, and she come running, driving back. And she said, Dad, you won't believe it. A man offered me $100,000 for that car. And he said, I know. I just wanted to teach you a lesson that everything has value, and make sure that you're valued. And if you're not, you get out of there. And it went something like that. And I think you can figure out the moral of the story is if you're in an environment, a job, a relationship, a friendship, and you don't feel like you're being valued, you're being used, you're not being appreciated, it seems like it's all one-sided, then you need to get out of there. That's the bottom line, because there's always somebody out there that will value who you are and what you can contribute. And I don't mean now, if you're in some job for a couple months, 2-3 months, and you don't get a promotion, and man, I deserve a promotion, I've been here for 3 months, nothing like that, none of that crap. I'm talking about if you're being completely unappreciated, undervalued, possibly even underpaid. Don't put up with that. It's time to move on. Start looking for that environment that will value you. Make it a life's mission. And when you find that environment that appreciates you, whatever you do, don't take it for granted. I can tell you right now, I have done that in my life. I've been blessed and valued, and I took it for granted. And I paid the price for it. I tell you what, you will regret it for the rest of your life. So get out there, find people that value you, and appreciate them with everything you've got. I'm Bo Schwade, the man with the whip. Make sure you subscribe. Love you, mean it. See ya.